Again, this month, the month of April, is National Volunteer Appreciation Month, so we're giving a big shout out to all of our volunteers, which is why we're having a volunteer spotlighted each week right here on the Beat broadcast. And tonight we're going to bring to you Julissa out of Corpus Christi. What is up, Julissa?
Hi.
How are you doing, girl?
Good, you?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much for joining tonight. I was thinking earlier, I was like, I think you're the youngest guest we've had on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank
totally,
you.
man. Totally. So I wanted everybody to get to know a little bit about you because you've been this constant in my life since what has it been? 2014? I think it was 2014, right?
2014?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And one of the first things that I remember about you, one of the biggest impacts was that year, I think we had Selena's sister, right? And
Yep.
and she was in the house for our big breast cancer ticket benefit at Brewster Street Ice House in Corpus Christi. And you decided in advance of that to fundraise for breast cancer
I did.
ticket, right?
I did.
Yeah. Tell everybody what you did and kind of what made you decide to do that.
Okay, so my first metal shop show was April 15th, 2014. That was my first ever metal shop show. So my dad used to go actually before that to go see y'all by himself though. I wouldn't ever go. So it was his birthday in April, like April 26th was his birthday. So we went to Brewster's to go see y'all for his birthday. So it was my first time seeing y'all. And I grown up with my dad playing vinyls like every single morning, just like 80s hair bands, vinyls. Like that's what you would wake up to every morning. So when I went to Metal Shop, I knew every single song. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I was so amazed. And so then when I saw you, you were like the first chick drummer that I've ever seen, like ever. I was like, oh my God, like she's a girl and she's drumming. Like this
You're
is
so sweet.
awesome, bro. Like this is awesome. And so
Thanks,
I
man.
went home and I like my mom searched you up, I think, or we searched Metal Shop up. And so then I found out that you were like a breast cancer survivor. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so, Metal Shop shows end late. So by the time I got home, I stayed up all night just watching that video and I cried and I cried and I cried all night. So then when I heard about you doing
You're
breast
so
cancer could
sweet.
stick it, I fundraised. So what I did was my mom made like breast cancer like cookies, awareness cookies. And so she made them and we sold them to like her coworkers, my dad's coworkers, like our friends and family. And we came up with money. And then that's when we presented you with the check at the event in Corpus.
That's so stinking cool. I'm trying to remember how
Yeah.
much you raised. I mean, it was a few $100s, I think, right?
I think it was like 150 or maybe 200 that year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I think the video you were talking about was it the one where I was bald?
Yes. It was like when you first introduced, like you said your whole story about like
Yeah.
you having cancer and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's really
That's
cool that
scary.
you went through and I don't even know that I knew
Yeah.
that. And what's even more fun is that's like we're about to have your 7-year anniversary of the first time you saw a Metal Shop play.
Well, it
So
was actually like 3 days ago, the 7 year,
oh,
or
okay.
yeah, the
So
7 year
it
mark.
just happened. Okay. That's so
Yep.
crazy. Oh my God.
I
And see, at
know.
the time I was thinking you were like 7 or 8. You were just this little, you were so little. And you like jumped into the whole rock and roll thing. Like you had like
Yeah,
your cut off blue jean jacket and you had like patches on it and your stud belt and you were totally decked out for a Metal Shop
and
show.
everything. Yeah,
And like you said, you knew
yeah.
like the words to all the songs. I mean, and not just like the A side, some of the B side, like Dio wasn't necessarily on the radio, but
Oh
you
yeah,
knew Rainbow in the Dark, and you were singing that and everything. So
yeah.
cool. So after that, you actually kind of got the bug to be a musician or to get into music, like actually play
I
an instrument.
did. I did. Well, okay, so I've been singing since I was like little, maybe like 3. My family on my grandma's side is very like musically inclined. All of her brothers are musicians. And so I always sing with them. And then I even like had this karaoke machine like growing up that I would sing to my parents. And it's kind of funny because there's like videos where you see me like wait, like going with my hands like they're fans, like just like, passing through them. So I've always been singing. But when I saw Metal Shop, that was like, okay, I want to perform. Like I want to perform. When I saw like the chemistry between all of y'all, it was like, I want to do this. And so I started singing more, but then when I saw you, I was like, I'm gonna start drumming. So I think like the year after I had been singing metal shop, I started drumming, taking drumming lessons. And I stopped like maybe last year during quarantine a little bit. But I still do it like here and there. But yeah, I had lessons for drumming for a while. And then I had lessons, vocal lessons for a while too. Ever since quarantine started, I haven't been able to like meet up with my vocal coach, Ceci Lopez. Very, very huge impact on my singing since I started, but I haven't been able to meet with her, but I will definitely like do more lessons going on in the future. But I did have a lot of music lessons. Yeah.
That's so cool. And I've even we were just talking about the other day because I saw you over the weekend at Metal Shop down in Houston, Texas,
Yes.
and they always get you up on stage. Everybody knows that I recently retired from Metal Shop, so I wasn't playing with you at that moment in time. But every other time we've gotten up there and jams, and my gosh, man, your voice has just really I mean, you've always been a great singer, but it's just gotten even more and more full, and you just really
Thank you so
found your
much.
own. And that kind of led you to later on actually being able to start your own band, right?
I do. I
Yeah.
do have my own band. It's called The Young Classics. I started it in 2019, late 2019. It was actually at school I started. I had friends that go to my school, Roman Dillion and Raul Ayala. So I had them at my school. And so basically, we got asked I would sing at a carnival every year, like a annually carnival at St. Cyril. So I got asked to sing and I was like, you know what? I think it's time that I do a band. So I got Raul and I got Roman. And so we started practicing before like my house. We started practicing at the cafeteria at school. So there was like aftercare. So we would start practicing. So Raul would bring his acoustic guitar, and Roman would bring. Well, Roman wouldn't bring anything. Honestly, he would like just tap on the table because at the show we had a cajon that you call it, I think, and his piano that he would play on. So he would just like tap the table, and that's how we would practice for like a few like weeks until we started coming to my house and started practicing. And so we it was like us three for a while. And so one of the many perks of metal shop is like meeting new people. Like you said, I've met so many new people, including like Tim, Karen, Rick, Kyle, Shauna, everybody. The list goes on and on,
Such an
just meeting new
amazing,
people.
yeah, they're so freaking cool. All those people are
Yes,
amazing. Totally.
yes. And so I met my keyboard's dad, Bobby, at the show. And so he came up to me, my dad, he was like, hey, do you have a band? My son can play like keyboard or bass or whatever. So Roman was already like originally assigned to play bass. So Nomar played keyboard. So we had Nomar and we had a practice with Nomar. And then Nomar recruited Stephanie, which is our girl drummer. She's amazing, talented. Oh my gosh, like beyond amazing. So we got Stephanie. So it was a few practices like with just us in December. And then Nomar got Stellan. So Stellan's another guitar player, like more of a rhythm. And we got him. So once like we were all together, it started basically in like February of 2020. So yeah, that's how we came about. And now we're doing shows. Like we've had shows with Metal Shop, Rebel Yell. It's just been like such a dream that we're living, like to do everything. And it's even a dream for me, like to open up for Metal Shop. Like that's been my dream my whole life. And for it to happen, it was just so crazy. But it's so
It's
surreal
like
having my own band.
it's like coming full circle to have that moment where we used to bring you up even when you were 9. Remember we used to get like all the kids up to do Youth Gone Wild, and you
Yeah.
would get in there with that, and you'd sing on Youth Gone Wild, you'd sing on Metal Health, you'd sing on Rainbow in the Dark, you'd just sing on several different things. And then to have it come back around where you're actually have your own band, and you're opening the show, and it's just what, 6 years later or something like that. That's like super super cool. So are you guys
Yeah.
playing regularly? Like, do you play once a month, or how often are you playing right now?
So we're not playing that often just because, we're slowly starting to get gigs. So we actually have a gig on May 1st for a graduation party for one of our guitar players' cousins. And then we also have, I think we're trying to book something at House of Rock and the Surf Club like during the summer. But November, December, and then I think maybe I don't remember it was January or February we played. I don't quite remember, but we did have gigs opening up. So we've had a few gigs under our belt, but now that summer's coming up, we're hoping to like book a lot of stuff and practice and improve more over the summer. So yeah.
Well, tell everybody a little bit about your set list, like the different songs you guys are playing, because it's kind of right up the alley in the metal shop genre, right?
Yeah, okay. So, um we learned separate ways for first, right? So that was our first song that we learned. And so once we did it, we're like, oh my gosh, we can actually learn songs. Like once it all came together, we were all like, okay, like let's do this. So basically on our set list, we have um like the outfield, we have Cheap Trick, working for the weekend, you have Joan Jett, we even have like Dio, we have both Rainbow and Holy Diver. Um, we have what else do we have? We have The Trooper. It's just a bunch of like songs that personally I've seen with Metal Shop, but I would have like loved to play with my own band. And now that I'm doing it, it's like surreal. But yeah, a lot of my inspiration actually comes from Metal Shop itself. Like if you were to see us live, you were to see me basically copy like all of Ginger's moves and all of Shannon's moves, like everything that y'all do, I do. Like the walk from the jump, like everything. Like I just get it all from y'all. So yeah, it's all
Well,
inspired from Metal Shop.
that's what's cool is like one of the coolest things about being in a band is bringing that energy to a show because you like actually literally exchange that energy with the audience. You know, the audience gets excited, you get excited, and you have this kind of exchange of energy, and it's just this really cool experience to be on stage and have that. So it's cool that you picked up on a lot of that stuff that Metal Shop does, and like
Yeah,
the back and forth moving and like woo every time rock and roll. So
yeah.
about how many songs do you guys have right now that you play or that you can play?
So I think in total, well, we actually had practice just before this, but I want to say in total we have like maybe 18, close to 20 songs learned already. So yeah, we have. I think we have enough for like maybe two whole set lists if I'm being honest. But yeah,
Dude, that is amazing. That's totally amazing. Well,
thank
and
you.
another thing, so you've got your band. You started out fundraising for Breast Cancer Can Stick It early on, but you also do a lot of volunteer work for Breast Cancer Can Stick It. Whenever
I
we're in
do.
town, down in Corpus, when we have a big Brewster Street Ice House event, and then you come up for Drumathon, and you actually played drums at Drumathon one year, right? You were
I
one of the
did.
fundraisers for that. Yeah.
I did for a couple years. I think that I did. I did this most recently when we had to, or y'all had as well. So yeah, I did. I actually want to try to get my drummer to come down so we can raise funds for like all of us to play. But I would love to play drums again in Drumathon. I would love it.
Oh, you've got to do it, and you do need to get your drummer to do it as well, and bring her up here because
Thank you.
it's so much fun, and plus we're gonna have some amazing celebrity drummers that you guys can play with. I can't remember. Did you when you did Drumathon a couple of years ago, and well, I think it was probably 2019, 2018, maybe both of those. Did you ever get to play like alongside as far as drumming goes with another famous drummer?
I did. I don't think I think I did with you actually one year. But the funny thing is, when you had celebrity drummers, I think you had Vinny Appice one year, and I remember I was like, oh my gosh. My dad was like, he plays with Dio, and I was like, oh my god, because Dio is like probably my number one inspiration if we're talking like singers in the whole world. Like Dio was my number one. So when I heard he was there, I was like, oh my gosh. So it was like when you went to your autograph booth, I met him and I was like, and then I think you had told him like, oh yeah, she sings with Metal Shot, like she sings Rainbow. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's telling him. And then I think he even like made me sing Holy Dive on the spot. And I was like, oh my gosh. So then that's when like we said, okay, like I was gonna sing with him. And so I did end up singing with him and then Tommy and like the whole other band. And it was so cool. Like just meeting him, like having that experience at Drumathon, it was like so cool. But Drumathon is such a great event.
Oh man, and we
Oh
have
my
so
gosh.
much fun, and your dad is so awesome. He comes up. Her
Uh,
dad, Jalissa's dad, is actually a member of our Drumathon logistics committee. So we drug him on a phone call last night for like 2 hours. He's awesome. So so appreciative of him. But yeah, there's video out there actually of you singing and performing with Vinny Appice from Dio, man, and it was you and me and the Breast Cancer Can Stick It band and Vinny Appice, and so super cool. In fact, I'll try to find it and queue it up after you drop off tonight so that everybody can check that out. So we started to talk a little bit last night about kind of what your goals and your dreams are, and I was so excited to hear that you want music to be a part of that. But tell everybody a little bit about what you're thinking about doing with your future, because I mean, 15 years old, you got a lot of time in front of you.
Yeah, okay. So for my future, I've always grown up being super into forensic science or like forensics, all in all. Growing up, I would stay with my grandparents in the summer, and my grandpa always had forensic files like on the TV. So when I would be there, I would stay and I would watch and I would actually like pick up on stuff, like learn stuff. So I've always grown up like, okay, I want to do this for like my future. So it's still stuck with me. Like I still to this day watch that stuff. And for my like college and stuff, I want to major in forensics. But just like Metal Shop does, I know you like gig on the weekends and stuff like that. So that's what I want to do. I want to play music during the weekends or like my off days that I have from school.
That's so awesome, and that totally can be done too. Or you're going to school and you're gigging on the weekends, or like later in life when you have your day job, you can work during the week and gig on the weekends and totally get into that. Super smart, super fun. So do you, like for this year, do you guys have, I think you guys have a Facebook, an Instagram, and a TikTok, right? For the Young Classics?
Yes.
And so if
Yes.
anybody wants to find you, they can just search Young Classics, and it's spelled with a K, right? KLASSICS. Classics, Young Classics. And I know I gave all those links to our social media moderator, so she should be popping those in. But Julissa, I want to tell you right now in the house, we've got Lori Peters, the former drummer of Skillet, is watching right now. So I want to give her a big shout out. So yeah, say hi, man. She's in the house. Totally cool. I'm also going to give a shout out to a few other people real quick. We've got Alexis is in the house. Your mom, Delissa, is here. Mandy's watching. Kimberly is in the house. Super cool. All right, so your next gig that you have coming up is May the 1st, and it's a private event. When's your next public event with the Young Classic?
Honestly, if I'm being honest, most of our gigs were like calling, like them asking, "Can you open up?" And us knowing a week before. So it's never been like planned, other than Rebel Yell was like really planned. And then when Metal Shop came, she asked me, "Hey, are y'all gonna be able to open up?" And I think that was like a week before. And then also Clarissa Cerna, she's actually our bass player's aunt. She's a really talented singer. She asked us to open up for her, and she is local, so she plays locally everywhere in Corpus. So we opened up for her. But we haven't really got like a monthly booking on our shows. So for now, we just know that May 1st is something that we have. I know that we're probably gonna book something with House of Rock soon, probably either this month or next month, just depending on anything else that comes up. But yeah.
Very cool, man. You're going to stay busy. I know you guys are going to get more and more gigs, and you and I are already talking about doing something together in Corpus Christi in October. Hopefully, the Breast Cancer Can Stick It band. Julissa, check it out, man. I actually found the video of you doing Holy Diver. So we're gonna take a quick break and play that video because I want everybody to see this. So let's roll that footage real quick, all right? We're gonna make this happen. So hang on just a second. I was just like digging around here and I was like, we gotta play this, man. This is too rock and roll. All right, here we go. You won't be able to hear it, so just be cool.
What do you think, dude? You ready? I'm doing good, man. Still
all I gotta say is Vinny freaking Appice right there. Come on!
Yeah, give it up, guys. You ready to do some Holy Diver? Yeah, sure, dude. You hit it, man. You go, man.
Yes. Here we go. And away.
freaking amazing, man. Holy cow. I'm sorry, I had to do that because I was like, I found it and I was like, it is happening. It is happening, man. So I had to play some of that. That was from a Drumathon 2017. Julissa performing with Vinny Appice, formerly of Dio and Black Sabbath, many other bands. Freaking cool night. You were getting some serious love on Facebook right now. Everybody's like, I'm throwing my hearts. They're like, woohoo. So cool. I'm so glad I could find that, Julissa. And next time we have you on, I'm going to have to play some of the young classics. We'll have to find some videos from you guys so we can spin a little bit of that. But man, we started you out a little bit early, so we're gonna let you go a little early as well. But man, I'm so glad you could join tonight and that everybody could get a chance to meet you. And I hope anybody who's watching, if you're down in the Corpus Christi area, please watch out for the young classics and go check them out anytime you can. Julissa, lead singer of that band, also an amazing volunteer for breast cancer, can stick it. And if we have an event down there this year for breast cancer can stick it, I'm going to bring lots of people so that they can meet you in person, Julissa.
I can't wait.
Girl, thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight. You have yourself a great night,
Thank
okay?
you so much for having me. You too. Good night, everybody.
Love you. Take care, girl.
Love you too. Bye.
Awesome, guys. That was Julissa. She is a freaking rock star, man. What a great bunch of fun this evening has been. I was so excited to run across that video and get a chance for you guys to see Julissa actually perform live on stage with the Breast Cancer Contingent Band, Vinny Appice of Black Sabbath and Dio, and then Julissa singing away there with Tommy Sherman from the Breast Cancer Contingent Band. Again, be sure and check out the Young Classic.